The Alberta NDP are hiding behind a herd of caribou. They're using the caribou as the latest club to beat the embattled oil and gas industry with. The NDP are now proposing that an additional 1.8 million hectares of Alberta wilderness be protected from development in order to preserve woodland caribou habitat. This will bring the total protected caribou habitat to nearly 5 million hectares. The 6 communities, though, who comprise the caribou communities of Alberta say they weren't consulted when the NDP accepted the plans to protect the caribou habitat. That sounds a little familiar, doesn't it, farmers? Now, the devil is always in the details. The dispute centers around 2 things: a tract of land that has oil and gas potential that the NDP want protected, and a caribou maternity pen in northwest Alberta. There are 350,000 to 400,000 hectares of the newly proposed protected land, which environmental and provincial information indicates is not critical for the caribou. There is no purpose to protect the land, and it will cost the caribou communities hundreds of jobs if they have to protect this unnecessary land from oil and gas development. And the proposed 100-kilometer square maternity pen, again in an oil and gas area, will be fenced to allow caribou to breed, but any predators that pose a threat to the enclosed herd would be killed. That means wolves, moose, deer, and elk, and anything else that might pose a natural threat to the caribou could be killed. And none of it at all might help the caribou. But you know who is helping the caribou? The oil companies. The caribou migration is built into the business plans and project considerations of the oil companies who work in the caribou area. In fact, just last year, the Algar project was completed. The project was funded by Nexen, Statoil, ConocoPhillips, Shell, Suncor, and Total. These oil companies planted 162,000 trees to recover 340 kilometers of seismic exploration lines to reclaim the habitat for the caribou. The environmentalists, though, they do this garbage all the time. They hide behind animals they don't really care about as a means to stop prosperity, without realizing that the industry is a better steward of the land than any environmental group has ever been. In BC, the environmentalists made some endangered creature called the ghost bear or the spirit bear up out of thin air as an excuse to block the Northern Gateway pipeline to a port in Kitimat, BC. Now, the spirit bear isn't a special bear, it's just a regular old black bear with a recessive gene, and the largest threat to spirit bears is breeding with other bears who don't have the recessive gene, not oil and gas, because we know black bears are not endangered. Now, in the north, environmentalists claim that declining polar bear populations are caused by global warming. Famed environmental hucksters Al Gore and David Suzuki both separately claim that polar bears would be extinct soon because of global warming. The truth is, polar bear populations have seen an increase. There are 25,000 polar bears in the circumpolar region, including 15,000 in the Canadian high Arctic. 50 years ago, there were approximately 5,000 polar bears in the circumpolar region. So if you care about polar bears, let's keep doing whatever we're doing. Apparently it's working for the bears. And now it's all about the caribou. The NDP don't care about the caribou the way the towns and the people who live within the caribou habitat do. Now, I'm about fact-based decisions, so I side with the caribou towns. But aren't the NDP all about social license and local buy-in? Isn't that how they think pipelines are supposed to happen, with social license and local buy-in? Well, these locals in the caribou towns aren't buying what the NDP are selling. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.